Welcome back, Kittitas Valley Sports Talk fans. I am your host, Eric Sorensen, along with Luke Olson. We are not joined by John Goudet today for episode 20. About an hour ago, we figured out who episode 20 was going to be. Who'd we come up with, Luke?
Well, we had to pick between Gary Payton
That's right.
and Daniel Vogelbach.
Daniel Daddy Hacks Vogelbach. I think we'll go Gary Payton. He's a little bit more nostalgia. Daddy Hacks Vogelbach, he's good for a pinch hitter, too.
He hasn't solidified himself just yet.
No. We're still waiting on to see how that goes, and I'm assuming he'll be back next year, but who knows?
Yeah.
I guess we don't need to talk too much national stuff, but King Felix got picked up. He's going to be an Atlanta Brave, maybe.
That won't last long.
No,
I don't think so.
Minor league contract and
$1 million, so something.
I'll sign me up. Let's go. The other big thing coming out for national news is they've announced that there's going to be an automatic strike zone in spring training this year. I know you're for it. We've had the debates on this before.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, now we're talking about it, I don't know. I mean, I guess ask me in 5-10 years when they start doing it.
Well, the way the commissioner of baseball talked, it sounded like it was going to be, he was pretty much for it. So as long as Robert Manfred's our commissioner, unfortunately, I'm not for it. I don't like it. I like the fact that a catcher can set up an umpire, and it's part of the personality of the game of baseball. What makes it great. So,
I mean, what do you think Tanner Swanson thinks of it?
I don't think he's going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, framing.
That's his job.
So, yeah, exactly.
That's his job right there. And I think that, I guess I don't know. I mean, it takes away the whole manipulating the strike zone with how the catcher catches the ball. And you better hope the laser's on point that day when that ball's crossing. And I'd be kind of curious, though. We should have him on here in a week or so before spring training hits and see what he thinks. And he's with the Yankees, of course.
Cle Elum graduate.
Yeah. We're not going to him yet, but we got a Cle Elum guy as our guest today, Coach Eric Terrill, head boys coach at Cle Elum High School. And pretty excited for that interview today.
Yeah, I think he'll be our first Cle Elum interview.
We're heading west.
Yeah.
That's right. I got to spend some time in Cle Elum on Thursday or Wednesday night. We had to go over to the west side that night, and the nice Snoqualmie Pass closed down.
You were just right in the middle of it?
Right as soon as we got on the freeway at Kittitas, I got a tweet that said Snoqualmie's closed. And we sat up there till 11.
Did you have blankets and all that?
Yeah, I made sure I had a bunch of gas.
So the car was on?
Car was on, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So date night in Bellevue turned into date night at the Easton Overpass.
Yeah.
Romantic. So, Luke, how was your weekend? I mean, I guess we had everything. You're busy, probably covering a bunch of scoreboards, but you survived the weekend.
Yep. Yeah, I was at Central Basketball, Central Men's. Just me. Obviously, it was the return of Spar. He was at Central for 29 years, 23 as a coach. He's now with Alaska Fairbanks, and he left Ellensburg with a victory. It was pretty meaningful for him.
Yeah, it was definitely a different crowd. It was interesting. There was a Central local loyals, and then there was a bunch of people that were Spar supporters, and it was just an interesting night. I don't know if you felt that from where you were at, but
no, yeah, there's a lot of Alaska fans. It seemed like, yeah, it was a pretty cool. Central's largest crowd this season, and but there was a lot of Central or a lot of Ellensburg community members sitting behind the bench, and he'd get a pat on the back during the game, and it was, and he stayed a while after, and he got showered with the Gatorade.
Oh, I bet.
Gatorade can. So it was pretty cool. I think his team knew how much it meant to him to come back there and get a win.
Sure. Let's hop into that a little bit. I mean, we got the scoreboard right now by Fitterers Furniture. We forgot to mention them right away, but our great sponsor, Fitterers Furniture, they're re-up for another year. And go in there and check them out. Quality furniture since 1896 on the corner of 4th and Main. Go tell them that Kittitas Valley Sports Talk sent you. And we owe them a trip for an episode in-house. That's right. Coming up here soon. Yeah. We'll have to get that done before baseball season hits. And everybody has chaotic schedules. But, no, the Central men, they beat Anchorage, who, they're sitting okay in the GNAC.
They're 4-2 at the time.
And they knocked them off. But then and I think they proved Saturday night, the Wildcats, that if you lose the turnover battle, you're not going to win.
No. I mean, and the worst part was that a lot of them turned into points a lot. It was like 23 or 24.
24-4
And
in
then,
turnover
like,
points.
And a lot of them turned into fast break points. I mean, it's just like they got the ball and then just went down the court. But yes, Alaska Fairbanks has a pretty good player, and can't remember his first name, but Shadid Shabazz, who was the brother of the former Central guard who was here 1 year,
Right.
Khalil Shabazz,
Mm-hmm.
and he was GNAC freshman of the year. So, and from what it sounds like, that he would have joined Central if Spar was still there. So those two, and Coleman Sparling, and I'm pretty sure Matt Poquette would have been.
Mm-hmm. He was already there.
He was a Spar recruit.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd been a pretty good team.
That would have been pretty interesting.
But right now they're kind of, they're 2-6 in the GNAC, so they have to. They really gotta. They have. Going for. They gotta turn things around.
Right.
They're halfway through almost halfway through
It's
the
time to
conference
start
play.
winning. The bummer part is you're looking at how they lost to MSUB by 1 point, Northwest Nazarene by 2.
They lost to St. Martin's by 3.
Yeah, St. Martin's and Western, they had the lead there for a while, and it's just, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they're going through the growing pains and they're getting out of it. And Concordia this Thursday, Western Oregon Saturday all away, and then they're back home for Simon Fraser and the hated Western Washington Vikings February 1st. So put that in your calendar to get there.
Are you gonna be there?
Oh, yeah, probably. I don't think I have anywhere else to be that day except for rooting on the Wildcats. The women's team, let's see, they beat Western Washington Thursday in their game 72-62, but unfortunately lost to Simon Fraser on Saturday before the men's game.
Yeah, that was a tough loss because they could have picked up some ground. I think Simon Fraser was sitting in second or third in the GNAC at that time, but yeah, that was kind of a tough loss. But
Shoot,
they beat Western, so
dang right, that's what matters.
yeah.
The women travel, I'm assuming, with the boys. They're going both to Concordia and Western Oregon on their adventure this week, but they don't play Western. They already beat them, obviously, but then they're on the road the following week. So,
Yeah.
This was kind of cool. I was looking on the Daily Record, so go check them out. Read all Luke's articles because they're amazing. Our past guest, Jeff Hashimoto, was Ellensburg High School cross country coach. Was named the 2A Girls Cross Country Coach of the Year by Washington State Track and Field Coaches Association this past weekend.
Yep. And then the assistant was assistant of the year,
Josephine Caramello.
Yep. So that was
Camarillo. Sorry,
Camarillo. Yeah. So a couple cool awards that they can collect after. They had a great, obviously a great season, win the state title, and having an individual winner in Leah Holmgren. And yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
But yeah.
Let's talk about some Ellensburg boys basketball. They're kind of struggling right now, but they're getting things, and hopefully they're going to get back going here soon. But they're hoping to bounce back this week against Wapato, but they're hosting Afraid at home on Saturday.
Yeah. And then they've been kind of struggling, but still a pretty young team. And then the girls are still undefeated. I think recently I see a few different rankings online, but I saw they're number 2 in the RPI, or 2 in another one, and they're at 4, and I don't know. There's a ton of them, but
everybody's got their opinion online, right?
Yeah. I don't think they care, but
yeah,
they're just rolling through conference and everyone else who's in their way. But yeah.
The women, they beat Prosser and Grandview last week. They take on Wapato and Afraid also this coming week. So
yeah. They're at home. Efrata's at home. Yeah.
Efrata's at home.
So
Right.
3:30 and 5.
Heck, get your butt out there and go watch them. Let's see, is Kittitas home or Golden or Cle Elum Saturday?
Cle Elum,
No, they're both away. So
Ellensburg's the team to go
Ellensburg's
see.
the place to be.
Yeah.
Maybe Cle Elum might be home. I'm not sure. But they let's see. Last week, Cle Elum, unfortunately, they lost to Natchez. Actually, both boys and girls lost to Natchez, but they both beat Highland last week.
Yeah.
Which Highland's a matchup of a league game next year for them when they come down to 2B.
Yeah. There's a couple, and Eric Terrill kind of mentioned, he will mention that they got it, beating Highland was an important win, and, they haven't made districts, according to him, since 2002.
Yes.
So I think it's their time. They got to win those couple key games, and he said they can kind of get that 4th seed.
Looks like they both play LaSalle and then they play Goldendale this weekend.
Yeah.
Which I should look that up before we're done today. Where are the Goldendale games at? But I think that he mentioned the Goldendale game is going to be a big one for him to get that goal of reaching the district tournament, and we're all rooting for him to get there. And let's go to Kittitas girls basketball. I got to see kind of the end of it, but unfortunately they lost to DeSales and on Saturday, and they lost to Columbia Burbank last night. But they played Goldendale at home Thursday. Yep. So if you're Cle Elum, get to Kittitas and get your video cameras out. And I believe both boys and girls are playing there on Thursday night.
Yep, I'll be there. So
hey, me too. I think Ellie's making her appearance this week.
Is she? Yeah.
So look out. Give us about a few rows for her to roam a little bit, and we'll be just fine.
Yeah, no problems.
None at all. I did get out there and saw the whole boys game at Kittitas on Saturday, which was a great start. I loved it because it was like a 3. Girls started at 3, boys started at 5. I watched the entire boys game, got in my pickup, drove, turned the 88.1 the Berg on, got to hear the end of the girls game, and was in my seat by tip-off for the boys game on Saturday night Central. Yeah. So I'm a fan of these early starts. So I think the Ellensburg League's got something going there with that. I know,
yeah, and it works. I'm a big fan of it. I'm done with my day after, so. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. But the boys beat DeSales, I know, and I walked in, and the football coach, Coach Hutch, is the assistant coach for the Kittitas basketball, and he walked up and was like, geez, no wonder they look like a bunch of football players. DeSales was a big team. They were a bunch of big guys, but the boys handled them very well, and a couple of the guys had a pretty great night that night.
Yeah, and Kittitas, I think, is tied third in
That's
the
right.
UAC, so.
They are behind White Swan and Walla Walla Valley Academy.
Yeah, so they have a opportunity to get into districts and hopefully make state. They got to go, obviously Justin Hudson's kind of leading them, and then sophomore Blake Catlin's kind of emerged as a lot of guys too. I mean, Cody Van Dorn's posting doubles a lot. He's about 6'4", 6'5". Pretty good size for a kid in that kind of league.
Oh yeah.
But
no, it's a lot of fun to watch, and I know that Walla Walla Valley Academy game is at home later on this season. That'll be a big matchup, and that win against Burbank was big because Kittitas is 6-2, Burbank's 5-3. So Kittitas needs to just keep winning out, and they're going to be sitting just fine for hitting districts in the district tournament. But I'm scrolling down here on the old internet, and they are at Goldendale on the 25th. So
Cle
Elum, but it looks like on the 24th they're home against LaSalle. So get out there, watch them beat the Lightning. I know that there's a lot of people in this valley aren't a big fan of the LaSalle schools. They're good people, but rivalries.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
The other big thing, I was bummed I didn't get there. Family duty called, but Saturday was the annual Ray Westberg invite, and there was a pretty good showing Ellensburg finished 5th as a team with 139 points. The other cool thing was Kittitas finished 12th.
They had an individual winner, Tony
Rios, which I'm trying to think of the last Kittitas kid that won.
It was probably Connor Treat.
Yeah, Connor and my cousin Nate.
Yeah.
Nate Sorensen won it 2 years in a row. But Tony Rios, good job, man.
Yeah, he's from what our reporter Rodney Harwood covered the tournament and talked to Tony. There's a video of the interview on the Daily Record Facebook, but I believe Tony just started wrestling his freshman year.
Yeah,
last year, and goes to the popular Westberg tournament and gets a win,
which is a big one because you got schools at Sela that won it: Cheney, Sunnyside, Southridge, Ellensburg, Pasco, Connell, Sumner, Hanford, Wapato, Eisenhower.
Yeah.
And I know I guess I'm biased to this one, but Kittitas finished ahead of Eastmont, Quincy, East Valley, Yakima, and All-Stars, which I'm not sure what the All-Stars team is, but they beat the All-Stars.
Yeah.
So the Ellensburg guys. So Tony was the 113 class winner. The 120, Christian Davis from Ellensburg. 132, Francisco Ayala. And 160, Lorenzo Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Were all champions of the Westberg tournament.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Kittitas Paul Jones was second at 170, defending champion Henry Reinhardt of Kittitas will end up third in the 182, and the Bulldog teammate Cole Weber placed sixth at 145. So,
yeah,
I don't know if you've been to that yet, but it is a fun tournament to go watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's for
it's
sure.
An all day. Yeah, I did go last year, and I was there from. I probably made a mistake going right at 9 a.m. because I was there till like 6.
Yep.
it didn't need to be that early, but still I got the full experience walking around trying to find who was where, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Before we go into our guest this week, 'cause that kind of wraps up scoreboard. We talked a little bit last week. I want Luke's opinion on this. What was your take on I know it's national news, but the sign stealing thing of baseball. What is Luke Olson's take on that?
Jeez.
Sorry, I didn't give you any heads up, but go.
What's my take? I'm not against sign stealing, but when you're using that kind of technology and the things that kind of Astros were doing, I mean, they're pushing it to. I can't remember. I was reading an article, or a lot of people think they should be stripped of a title.
Yeah.
I think
The Dodgers put out that thing.
Yeah, there's something that really I was like, wow, I agree with that. But I think even like Logan Morrison the old Mariner posted a video of like he remembers going to Houston and hearing the banging, but I mean it makes it way easier. I mean,
yeah,
if I mean, there was another pitcher who was tweeting, the guy for the Blue Jays, who's a really good pitcher.
I can't remember now.
And he was just saying like they were hitting pitches that like other teams, that's usually not supposed to be hit that often. And I don't know. You could say it's part of the game, but I think when you take it to that extent,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if they should be stripped of a title.
No,
but I wouldn't be mad if they were.
Right. Well,
they should be. Now I'm gonna say.
There you go, Luke. Take it away from. Did you watch the YouTube videos of that? There's YouTube videos of like you can hear the garbage can bang bang.
That's why
fastball.
Logan Morrison would posted one. It's very subtle. It's hard to hear, but you can hear something.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say it again, but yeah, when you take it to that extent, I don't know. But if you're on like second base and you see, oh man, like hey, it's probably gonna be an off-speed pitch. There's nothing wrong waving, trying to communicate with your batter, but.
When you go technology, though.
But supposedly they're wearing wires and stuff. So
the Altuve walk-off in the AL American League Championship Series against the Yankees that year.
Yeah, and he tried to.
He's holding his jersey. Don't rip it off me. And he's telling his team, do not take my jersey off. Yeah, he had a buzzer on. They haven't proved it yet or anything, but Aroldis Chapman throws 100 miles an hour, and he was sitting slider and did not miss it because he knew that was coming.
The batter still got to hit it, but it's a lot easier when I mean, a lot of it's a guessing game when the ball's coming at that speed.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of it's hand-eye coordination, but
no, you're still giving the best hitters in the world knowing what's happening.
That's why it's always. I mean, it's a pitcher's game, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other question I have for you: who is your pick in the Super Bowl?
Ooh, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Go Chiefs!
No bias.
Sorry, Coon.
Yeah, I can't stand the 49ers.
Yeah, they're gonna.
But I think the Chiefs will. I don't know. After watching the way the 49ers run, that's gonna be hard to stop. But Frank Clark was pretty confident stopping Derrick Henry, so maybe they can stop Mozart.
Yeah,
Is that his name?
I don't know.
Or Tevin Coleman if he plays.
I'll give the 49ers props how quick they turn that thing around, but go Chiefs. I want Pat Mahomes to get his
ring.
His ring.
Yeah.
Multi-sport athlete, which I love those guys. And, I think that would be good. So, Well, let's go to our guest this week, Cle Elum Roslyn head boys basketball coach Eric Terrill. And it was a pretty fun interview, and we'll be right back with that after this message from Fitterers Furniture.
Is a new sofa calling your name this new year? Maybe a recliner? Whatever furniture needs replacing, when it comes to furniture upgrades, you can trust the professionals at Fitterers Furniture in Ellensburg. A knowledgeable sales staff, certified interior designers, and 3 floors of quality home furnishings are just some of what you'll get at Fitterers. Fitterers also offers in-house financing, free delivery, and haul away in Central Washington. Fitterers Furniture, quality furniture since 1896. Fitterers.
Well, Kittitas Valley Sports Talk fans, we're back with our guest of the week, brought to you by Fitterers Furniture. This week, we got Cle Elum's head boys coach, Eric Terrill. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, we know that we've been talking all fall about someone pretty special up there that's pretty close and dear to your heart. I believe she almost broke the scoring record for soccer. I guess let's start off with how cool is that to be able to coach at Cle Elum and be able to watch your daughter play while you're up there.
Well, it's been awesome. Actually, both daughters. Holly obviously has graduated, but Grace had quite a great athletic career here in Cle Elum, and we're super proud of her for that. And yeah, she had an awesome soccer season and really put together. I think she ended up 4 or 5 goals from the, I think, all-time scoring record for Washington State soccer. So.
And there's a little story behind that too, right? The person that was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So we knew about the Yakima Valley record, which I believe was 151 goals. And when Grace reached that number and hit the 152, we kept going, I wonder if there's a state record. And we reached a few different places. And somebody finally got back to Monica and said that this girl, Melissa Bennett, held the state record at 166 goals, and then went on to have a storied career at UW. And so, I'm like, well, let's figure out who this girl is. Because my thought was it'd be kind of cool for Grace to reach out to her and say, hey, I'm a girl from Cle Elum, just, hoping to strive towards that goal. Even at the time, we thought, wow, it would be a stretch to even get that far, that many more goals, to get from 152 up to 166 or 167 was going to be tough. Mm-hmm. But we got to looking, and I saw her married name was Dunkley. And I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. There's Dunkleys in Cle Elum, and Grace has babysat for some of them. Well, we looked her up on Facebook, and Grace is like, oh, yeah, I babysit her kids.
Oh, no way.
So there you go.
Oh, that's
About
awesome.
a year earlier, no idea that there was a soccer connection between the two there. So they reached out to each other, and it was kind of cool. They got to communicate. So.
Oh, cool. And she's going to Eastern. When did she receive that offer to go to Eastern?
So she's been committed since the fall of her sophomore year, or I guess you want to say verbally committed, and then finally signed this year. But yeah, so she's been planning that for quite a long time. Which in soccer, they really recruit fairly young. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the rules have changed some since she originally signed, but it's an earlier sport than like a sport like basketball or some other sports that kids don't typically get recruited. Maybe a few do, exceptional ones do, but not as many.
Did you guys go on a few visits to schools before she committed to Eastern, or was Eastern pretty quick?
Yeah, we went. We had been to quite a few different schools. She went to a lot of what they call ID camps, which are camps at schools. So she'd been to Gonzaga, U of I, to WSU, to Eastern, and a few others. But those were really the 4 main schools she was interested in because she wanted to stay east of the mountains, but yet close enough that her mom and dad would be able to come and watch games and be a part of that. So Eastern turned out to be, she also got an offer from U of I, but Eastern she felt like was the best soccer fit for her, kind of how she plays. And my wife is also an Eastern alum, so I don't know that specifically played into it. My older daughter's at U of I, so any one of those could have happened. But she really felt like that was the right fit for her. And if anything were to happen and she wasn't able to play soccer, she felt like that'd still be a school she would want to be at.
Cool. Absolutely. Well, we know you're the head boys basketball coach at Cle Elum, so talk us through what got you into coaching and the road that led you to Cle Elum.
So I have a little coaching in my background. My father actually coached. He coached a kindergarten through 6th grade program in the little school I grew up in the mountains of Colorado, a little town of Walden. And so I got introduced to basketball super young and kind of the coaching side of that, and just continued to play. Got out of high school, went to college to be a teacher and a coach. Got a little derailed there where, my focus was not quite on school somewhat, so I decided to take a little break from that and ended up and moved to Washington State and worked out here in a sawmill for a couple of years and then with a manufacturing company and just kind of continued to change jobs. But in that, got more into the coaching side. Even while I was in college, I started coaching, actually. Eric, you'll enjoy this. I was coaching the Little League baseball team.
All right.
Kind of got roped into that, and that was my first coaching opportunity
Yep.
at 19. Some dads that talked me into that one, so I was not necessarily a good baseball player. I only played 2 years of Little League, and we didn't have baseball in high school. Our school was pretty small in the mountain, 8,000 feet in the mountains, so a lot of snow. But played football, basketball, and track when I was in high school. So.
Okay. And so when you moved to Washington, you got to Cle Elum, and then this is your first or second year as the head coach at Cle Elum?
So I moved to kind of the Puyallup Tacoma area.
Okay.
And lived there for many years. We moved to Cle Elum. We bought a place in Cle Elum, just a vacation cabin, in '99, and then we moved here in 2007 moved up here full time.
Okay.
And our goal was, I grew up, like I said, in a very small town in the mountains of Colorado, so I really wanted to raise our daughters in a smaller community where they could really, be a part of a community, be active in lots of different things, and meaning sports. They've done a lot with 4-H and just, volunteering in their community. And I think sometimes in a bigger city, you lose that, I feel like. So that was really important to my wife and I. And so that was what preempted the change for us to move up to Cle Elum.
Yeah. Okay. And then how many years have you been with, so
this will be my fourth. Yeah, this will be my fourth year as a head coach.
Okay.
Wow, probably 10 years ago, I volunteer coached for a year. Then I was the JV coach for a couple years. Then took a few years off, and then got hired as the head coach. So,
what made you come back after that hiatus for a little bit?
I'm passionate about basketball, passionate about kids, and it's kind of one of those things that. Tony Graham ended up and took the job down in Ellensburg, which opened the Cle Elum job back up. And I said, something I still want to do, and decided to put my hat, back in that ring again. And this was the opportunity that I got hired to finally become the head coach. So
okay.
It's been pretty fun.
We'll talk a little bit. I don't think it's official yet. But there is rumors, and I think it's more than rumors in our circles we walk in, that you guys will be coming down to the 2B level, join the EWAC League. And I know I can say I'm excited after watching the game at the Christmas term. I know you guys didn't win that one, but it was a fun, competitive game between you guys and Kittitas, and joining this 2B League and being able to get this cross-county rivalry kicked off. And I know when I was in high school, we call it the Timothy Cup, the cross-county rivalry between. I think that's going to be something to build on. So I guess talk a little bit about joining the EWAC League and the potential rivalry between Kittitas and Cle Elum.
Well, I think, like you said, and I don't have probably as much history as you do, but I know that it's long been a rivalry, kind of that Kittitas Valley rivalry between all the schools. Mm-hmm. Probably Kittitas and Cle Elum, maybe a little bit more, obviously with Ellensburg being a little bit bigger. It's always fun for, some bragging rights in your community. Mm-hmm. So to speak. So I look forward to that and really think it's going to probably blossom and grow a little bit. I think my guess is whenever we're playing at one or the other, those gyms are going to be full with a lot of community members rooting both teams on. So it should be pretty exciting and pretty quite an atmosphere, I think, is what it'll be.
What are your kind of thoughts of the transition down? I mean, as far as competition and what do you think?
I think that the 2B league has got great competition. I don't think by any means Cle Elum dropping down from 1A to 2B, there's any easy path for any of our programs. I think there's a lot of competition at 2B level. So, you're going to have to show up every day and go to work if you want a chance to, make it through districts and go into state or something like that in probably most sports. I feel like our team will be, we're kind of, I feel, on the rise where we've got a lot of young men that are putting a lot of time into it and developing our skills, and we have a ways to go, but I think it'll make for super competitive games. I don't know, several of the teams are in 1A going to drop in, mm-hmm. So it'll be the Grangers, the Highland potential of Golden Dell. So I think it should be fun, but I do think when we talk football versus basketball, I think it's going to be a much better place for Cle Elum, playing with more alike schools.
Yeah. Were you surprised when you heard that, like, you guys were going to be dropping down, or something? You
No,
expected?
I've actually been for that, mainly because I feel we should play it wherever our numbers lie, and right now our numbers are solidly in the 2B section.
Mm-hmm.
For us to actually opt up, to me at this point, doesn't make any sense. I know. Well, it's quite a ways back when Tony Crutchman was the boys football coach. We actually, I think there was a 2-year stretch where we opted up. We were 2B numbers and we opted up to 1A. And it kind of made sense then. Our football program was competing. Our basketball program was okay, not necessarily great, but okay in there on the boys level. But right now, I feel like it just makes sense. And it'll put us, in a more balance. We're going to be playing schools that have more close to us in size. I think our numbers are like 180 students is what they said.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's squarely in 2B, and for us to opt up, especially with teams like Toppenish, Wapato potentially all coming down,
yeah,
that would be pretty tough, I think.
I know you guys are probably used to this, but I know we're excited for the shorter travel because our league's going to be a lot more centrally located. That's for sure.
Yeah, I haven't really specifically looked at the travel side of it,
Mm-hmm.
but we definitely drive a lot. So
Yeah,
I guess
3-hour
it's the norm.
trip's nothing.
We don't even think about it. It's just the norm.
Right, absolutely. Well, you mentioned it, and watching your guys' team play, you do have a young team this year, but I do see a lot of talent in what you guys were shooting the lights out the game I was watching, and just talk about this year's team, and it looks like you guys have a really bright future ahead of you.
Yeah, we have like I said, we've got a young team, but it's been pretty exciting, and I'm having, as a coach, probably having one of my most fun years. Just got a lot of players that are willing to work hard. They're willing to try to get better and improve their game and knowledge, and it's starting to translate to the court. Sometimes you do a lot of work behind the scenes, and it doesn't always translate into the game in a visible fashion to others, although people that kind of see the progress will know what's going on behind the scenes. But a lot of players have developed. I think Jake Kelly probably is by far the leader of our team and has really came around after his freshman year, coming off some knee injuries, and last year getting back in, and now this year really kind of taking that leadership role for us. We're currently, we have Max Weed as the only senior on our team, so we are gonna bring back a pretty solid core of players going forward, and really for the next probably 2, 3, 4 years we should have a pretty big group. I've got a couple of freshmen starting varsity, but we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are playing for us on the JV level as well.
What kind of makes Jake Kelly a leader of that team?
It's funny. He's kind of quiet. He's not necessarily always the vocal leader, but just he's got a extremely good, solid, calm demeanor. He sees the court well. He's done a lot of work to get stronger, and he's improved his athleticism. He's just quicker, more agile, and his teammates really look up to him and look to him for that leadership. And even though sometimes I'd like him to be a little more verbal in that manner, they are watching him and they're listening, and you can see when he does talk to them or mention something to a player, they're paying attention, and his team voted him almost unanimously to be the team captain this year. So.
And you kind of mentioned is the knee surgery or knee injuries he went with. I mean, so you're kind of seeing a different kind of player this season, just from.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's last year when he came in, he was just getting cleared and playing, and like you could see he knew where to go, but sometimes physically he just didn't have the speed or the quickness, or when a player was, whether he was on defense or trying to break somebody down offensively, just that quickness and that explosion. And now he's really came a long way, and I can only imagine if he kind of does the same thing into next year, it's going to really leapfrog his skills. I think when we played Kittitas, I think he had 20 rebounds that night.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you an idea, he's just he's great at anticipating, and he's not our big guy, right? He's not our post player.
Mm-hmm. He is tall though.
Yeah, he's about 6'3". Then we've got Griffin Bator at 6'5", and then Gage Ellison, who wasn't there the night we played Kittitas. He's 6'6", so
Yeah.
and he's a sophomore, so another good, solid interior player for us.
Is-
Kind of strange to have height. I don't think I've coached a year where I've had one or two players at 6'5". We've
that's
always
gotta be
been
pretty
about
nice.
6 foot, 6'1". That was kind of all across the board.
And Gage had a pretty good game last night, didn't he? 21.
He did. Yeah, Yankee scored 20 or 21 last night against Zilla.
Yeah. And, I mean, Jake, is he putting a lot of time in the off season? I mean, is he playing AAU? What kind of things is he doing?
Yeah, actually, a lot of these players are putting in time. I think they played AAU last spring. We did a lot of work summer. They got into some strength and conditioning, got with some trainers last summer. We had some at the school, and I think they're still doing some privately now. And then I think a big group of these boys played fall AAU as well, and really kind of committing to the time that it takes to get better. I think that, if they continue into this next summer, I'm a big believer in strength and conditioning. I think that you always want to get better at your raw skill, whether it's basketball or baseball or whatever your skill that you're working on. But if you go against an opponent that's bigger, faster, and stronger, it's tough to beat them, even if they don't have the same skill level that you have. So that's one of the areas that I really want our school in general, in all sports, but specific to basketball, we need to continue to work on. And I think it will just, it'll leapfrog where we can go next year and years past.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps things up for us on our side of things, but we truly appreciate you joining us today, and good luck on the rest of the season, and we look forward to watching more of your guys' basketball team this year and next year. Thank
you. We're pretty excited. We're hopeful. I will share with you that we're, kind of our goal this year is to make the district playoffs, which if Mr. Malcolm is correct, I think it's been 2002 since Cle Elum made the district playoffs. So right now, if we can beat Goldendale and Granger and Highland, we'll be seeded fourth into the district tournament, which would be pretty exciting for our boys.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be pretty awesome. Heck yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Luke and Eric, and appreciate the call.
You bet. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back here in just a second with John Goudet and Would You Rather. Well, fellas, let's wrap this thing up with our fun segment, at least I think's fun. Hopefully you guys do too, and the listeners do, but our Would You Rather, and I did my research today, fellas. I got some good ones for you. Hopefully you stepped up your game too.
We got to introduce who's back on the show.
You're right. If you guys
I'm ready to roll.
We have been missing a third voice, but he has appeared through the cellular phone. John, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. I'm glad I can call in, but I'd rather be there showing off my impressive physique on YouTube. I'm telling you what, those camera angles are very unflattering to me, Eric, and so we need to fix that.
Do you want to switch me seats?
We can switch you. We'll put you.
Maybe, or I'll just stay away from the beer and candy. Maybe that would be an improvement as well.
Well, you haven't even seen the new mugs that we have. YouTubers are seeing it right now. We got some Kittitas Valley Sports Talk coffee mugs. Strictly water, tea, or coffee to the listeners out there is what's in those things. So.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
So next time you're back,
maybe I can earn one of those when I finally come back into the studio.
You know where to be. Maybe we'll have to give one of them away here to one of our loyal listeners here soon. But
yeah.
So you guys ready for some mind-blowing
ready.
questions? Boo. Let's start off with this one. If you could have a beer with any coach, any sport, past or present, who would it be? Go.
A beer, any coach, any sport, past or present. Wow.
Probably Lou
I'm
Pinella.
trying not to go with the usual ones, like, I think a lot of people would say like John Wooden or Vince Lombardi or George Hallis or something. So I'll go with Dean Nicholson.
Ooh, that'd be a good.
I would
one.
I would really, really, really like to know what that was like coaching some of the most dominant teams. And in the Northwest and in a small school around the nation. I would really like to meet Dean Nicholson and have a beer with him.
That can still happen, right? He's in he's still
he
around.
is 90, isn't he 91, 92 years young, living in Stockton, I believe.
Oh man.
Well, I'm sure he's going to be here when they're doing some up at the
for the anniversary. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I would like to know about that team. I mean, just that team in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's who I think, Dean Nicholson.
I'm intrigued by Lou Piniella. That'd be a lot of fun. I'd like a manager from like the 80s, not even the 80s, but like Sparky Anderson's coming to mind, or who was the guy for the Yankees and the Oakland A's that the Yankees kept firing? Was that Sparky? Gosh, what was his name?
That'd be a good one too.
Anyways, but I'm going to go with Augie Garrido, the winningest. Well, he was the winningest college baseball coach. He's the late Augie Garrido. He passed away. Florida State guy just passed him, but he was a coach at Fullerton and Longhorns of Texas.
Actually, how about Mike Leach? You gotta have a beer with Mike Leach.
We're going through breakup issues right now, so I can't be seen with him. Hey, they're lighting him up on Twitter right now. He just basically brought his staff and gave them all raises, and a lot of the Mississippi State fans are saying, "I didn't realize this was just bring your buddy to work and give him a raise." They want him to go hire somebody, not just bring his staff. Side note, back on it. You guys got any questions before I just rattle these things off?
No.
John, you got any for us?
Keep going.
All right, road trip. Any sports star, you get 3 of them in the car with you.
Any sports star that goes on a road trip with you?
No, you get to go on a road trip. You get to pick 3 people to go with you, sports stars. This was inspired by Gardner Minshew's current road trip in his motorhome postseason.
Yes. 3 sports stars to go on a road trip with. I'm going to say I'm going to keep it local. Well, yeah, I'm going to keep it local. I would like to go. I would fill my car with former Central quarterback, current BC Lions quarterback Mike Riley.
Mm-hmm.
I would put Johnny Spivak, former CW football and basketball player. And then my final guy would be, who would my final guy be? I'm going to go with
Eric Sorensen.
Hey.
Country Sorensen, or I would say Nolan Teasley.
Okay.
Well,
what about you, Luke?
Former Ellensburg High School great. Yeah.
Jeez. I don't even...
Those are my 3.
I gotta have Steve Nash.
Okay.
He was like one of my favorite athletes. Steve Nash. I don't know, I think it would be pretty fun to have Dirk in there too, Lewinsky, just because they're friends. And then I'm putting, man. Jeez, this is tough.
It's a good one. You want me to give you mine while you think of your third?
Yeah.
We're getting a second call into the show. Have you guys heard the beat?
We could get him in.
We are. I would go with Lou Piniella, King Griffey Jr. I'm torn between Edgar or Jay Buhner, but I'm going to go Buhner because I bet he has some cool stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Steve Nash, Dirk,
Those are good ones.
And we're throwing Matt Hasselbeck in there.
Oh, Matty Ice. We want the ball, and we're going to score. All right, we're going off the beat from sports. You're front row center, any concert of your dreams. Who are you going to see?
Front row and center for any concert.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to some great concerts. That's kind of one of the things that I do.
Mm-hmm.
But the concert that I'd probably say the Beatles. That would be that's my favorite band. I mean, I've seen some great concerts from some big names, but I would say the Beatles. That's the one band that I'll never get to see. So I would pick the Beatles.
I'll probably go with Johnny Cash.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going Garth Brooks because he's a childhood idol of mine. Would you rather win a World Series or a Super Bowl?
Super Bowl.
I'm World Series.
Super Bowl's hard.
Yeah, I'd say World Series.
Would you rather watch a regular season game courtside or a high stakes playoff game from the rafters?
The rafters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A state playoff game in the Raptors, because that's basically what I've done in the last couple of years.
Would you rather be a star on a bad team or an average player on an elite team?
Average, elite, all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go average.
Is it high school or college? If it was college,
Oh, college. It's all about me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go pro.
if it's high school,
See, I was always the average. I was the elite athletes in my family were my oldest and youngest brothers, and so I was never the main guy. So it's a role that I embraced, and so I like to be in a part of a team rather than being the star.
I feel it. Well, I have a big list of them, but we need to save some for next week. Last one. This is just a hard-hitting question. What is your go-to birthday dinner? Your favorite dinner? You could, if someone said, "I want this," and you can have whatever you want. What is that?
So I had a pretty darn good steak the last birthday I had. I'll go old school and I'll say my grandmother used to make me either Swiss steak or like stew and biscuits for my birthday. And so I'll basically just say whatever my grandma cooks. Steak is the easy one though.
Yeah, I was say it's probably surf and turf.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
that's good.
Yeah.
I don't have a dinner, but I know that Paige, growing up, my mom always made an amazing German chocolate cake. My wife makes an amazing German chocolate cake, and if I don't have that on my birthday, I don't care about presents. I don't care about anything else, but I just want my cake.
Or you're filing
the
divorce
family.
papers.
Yeah, or it's over. Well, thank you for calling in, John. Luke, thank you for being here, and thanks for another episode 20, fellas. We are rolling through another 10. I can't believe we're in 20 already.
Jeez, yeah.
It's scooting right along. And thank you to everybody that's listening. Share us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. I'll be posting 2 videos here soon because I didn't get last week's up yet. But anyways, share with your friends and let everybody know about Kittitas Valley Sports Talk. And until next week, get out and watch some local sports and support the local kids and be kind to one another.
Yep.
Take care.
See you guys.